Your job is often considered one of the most thankless jobs in Washington, in the sense that when things are going well, no one necessarily knows that. And when things go badly or something happens, you're the first person that they're going to point the finger at. How do you develop that type of thick skin to maintain focus?
It's called earning your calluses in my lexicon. I think as I've grown up in a public service career and in public office, be it during an election campaign or now whatever, you just get used to things being thrown at you. And I think the important characteristic to develop is not to take things so personally. So, I can be getting beat up in the press about something, but it takes a pretty hard jab to really make me feel concerned, or like there really needs to be a response.
What's a hard jab to you now?
Oh, that definition keeps rising, keeps going up. I think when things get personal, as an attack on your personal qualities as opposed to what has been done or not done, that sort of thing. But I'm fortunate because we really experience, given the kind of job this is and the breadth and depth of it, we get treated pretty fairly overall.
We all face failure, obstacles, and setbacks, and there's no playbook for how to deal with them, but often they're the most formative experiences in developing ourselves as leaders. Mm-hmm. What would you describe as your most successful failure or setback, if you look at it in terms of what you learned?
One of them, and I've had many, it's not all walking through the roses, but early in this position, on Christmas Day '09, a man named Napolitano tried to get an underwear bomb onto a passenger plane bound for Detroit. It was over Christmas break. We were all spread all over the place. The president was in Hawaii. I was in California with my family. And I gave an interview where I knew what I meant, but it didn't come out right.
Do you think that, has there been any evidence of the al-Qaeda ties that this suspect has been claiming?
I think it would be inappropriate to speculate. One thing I'd like to point out is that the system worked. Everybody played an important role here.
And I got hit pretty hard on that. And it was a fair critique because even though I knew what I meant, the public could interpret it another way. It was helpful in two ways. One, to understand how many people actually listen to what I say and listen to every word that I say. And secondly, it revealed that in our enterprise, we had data banks that weren't talking with each other, and that if we could fix that problem, we could materially increase the security of passengers traveling internationally by air. And actually over land as well. And so we took that almost tragedy and really turned it into one of the operational reforms of the department.
You said that this is your career seemed like a logical progression, but it was a variety of different roles. Looking back at these positions, what was your steepest learning curve from one job to the next?
Oh, definitely from governor to Secretary of Homeland Security. Governor, you cover a myriad of topics. You're the person on point for so many things. Secretary of Homeland Security is much broader in terms of its jurisdiction and responsibilities. It's 230,000 people spread across the United States and in 75 countries. It is the kind of job where literally you're fighting multiple crises on any given day.
How do you prepare yourself for that? How does one even wrap their arms around such a complex, fast-paced role?
First of all, my prior jobs were great experience for it because they, taught me how to delegate, how important good staff is around you to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. Taught me how to compartmentalize, taught me how to handle stress in a healthy way. So that I was prepared in that sense, but nobody can truly prepare for this type of a job where you're dealing with national security and terrorism and protection of the borders and disaster response and cyberspace all at the same time.
Talking about that role, even you know, in your words, is so daunting. It seems so overwhelming. When you first were talking about this position and taking on this role, did you feel that sense of weight, that daunting aspect that you talked about?
Well, I knew it would be tough, and I knew it would be a challenge. I had a good relationship with my predecessor, Michael Chertoff, and with his predecessor, Tom Ridge. I'm only the third Secretary of Homeland Security. So that's some insight into, you know, what it's like to build a new department. And that is, among other things, one of the tasks that we have is to take now the third largest department of the entire federal government and put some vision around it, some organization, you know, put our arms around it and give people a sense of how their jobs and how their roles fit into the greater whole.
What type of culture are you creating here, given that it is such a new department?
I hope we're creating one where people are leaning forward. They are continually trying to think creatively about how to do things, that they have a lot of responsibility placed on them and that they're empowered to exercise that responsibility. Kind of place where young people who are energetic and want to rise up quickly would want to come to work. You know, that kind of a lively atmosphere is what we're trying to get at.